Hello everyone, today is Monday, October 26th, and it's just about an hour after the regular session close, recording today's video. There's no video from Trader Jim today. I did trade my Leeloo account today and had an excellent day. I traded the 1 minute line break, and I used a trailing stop on this at 50 ticks, trailing by bars. I played it kind of conservative with a 1250 target. And that worked out pretty good. There were two trades here, and of course it was a pretty large volatility day to the downside, and I believe the reason for the hard push down today is just fears of coronavirus spiking as the United States records the highest numbers of coronavirus since the beginning of the pandemic. And I think the market reacted to that today, according to Bloomberg, which I do read. So anyway, there was a $100 slippage, or $50 per contract, on this chart. Remember, yellow border is live trade, red border is sim. So we got yellow border here. I also traded a second chart, which was the 100 tick line break. This chart has been performing pretty consistent. This is a $1,000 goal, trading two contracts with a 32 tick pullback, being that it's a smaller time frame. There's more action, more pullbacks. There's quite a few trades on this chart, but it still ended up hitting its goal, and that is testimony to that the Autotrader can absorb some losers. Here's all the trades here. So you can see we started out with a winner, ran up about $400 to $500, and then there was a bunch of back and forth here, but ultimately it finally came into this winning streak here, these two winners in a row. So there was a total of about 15 trades on this chart, and it's interesting because it didn't get stopped out. The max drawdown was only about 375 because of the mixture of winners and losers. You know, once again, the money management, I guess, proved pretty good that this chart did not get stopped out after all these trades and still managed hitting its goal. So this chart actually had positive slippage, as the goal is 1,000, and we ended up with 1,060. So between the two charts that I traded, the net gain was about $2,200. So in my Leeloo account, I'm up. I still have about 7,000 to go on the 9,000 required qualification. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about levels. This is my 30-minute chart, and on this chart I had this cyan colored line which was near the low of the day, and these other levels, these were all drawn in advance, and they're different colors because on this chart I drew the starting point of where I drew these lines. So you can see this coincided here. You can see where some of these actually began, where I drew them from. So this pink line, for example, was the high of the Globex right here, and then this golden line was the high of the 20th, and then also this high volume area during Globex, and this acted as support here. This was the high of this session here, and then this was the high of Globex here and the low of Globex. And so a lot of these are the high and low of the Globex sessions, and if you bring this forward, they intersected lots of points on the market in between today. But what's interesting is if you go all the way back to today and look at how the market traded to these levels that were drawn in the last 30 days, brown dotted line, this is where this 30-minute period stopped right here and went a little bit above it and then down. Then the next level was, you know, kind of broke through this level, but this acted as support here and then here, and then dropped down to this level, kind of acted as support, a little bit of overshoot, and then down to this level, which acted as support and resistance here, and then the market came down here. It made a low of about 343, and then rallied into close, probably just short covering from today, and then it stopped here. So looking at these levels between this brown dotted line, notice the high volume area here, the low on this day here, and this was the high of the day here. And so again, areas where these levels acted as either support or resistance. And so this dotted line, just want to go back to where it began, the brown dotted line. This is 580, and I think the reason I plotted it here, these two brown dotted lines, these were levels that Jim had talked about that were very important. Now here, it's the low of the or high of the end of the week high, probably the weekly high right here, and then this 580 level is not sure when I actually drew this, but probably the high of the night session here, and the high here is where it should start from. And so if you bring that all the way over, you can see where that came into play here, and then down here, and today's low. So there's still some levels below here, and in the coming days we'll see how if we get down here, and I probably need to fill in some space as we go lower. There's levels way down here, but there's space in between here, but I'm sure we can go back on the chart and find areas where the market will respect these levels.